Besides using the mean and median, shape, outlier, sum, or spread to describe data, another way we describe our data is with the 5-number summary. Yay! The 5-number summary includes 5 different numbers about your data. The minimum, the lower quartile, that's going to be the 25th percentile. The median, that's halfway or 50% mark. And then the upper quartile is the 75th percentile. And then obviously the maximum. So with those 5 numbers. The other cool thing is not only range or spread are we looking at, but we're also looking at the interquartile range. So that is going to be the range in between my quartiles. I'm going to find the range from my Q3 down to my Q1. Q3 minus Q1. So let's do an example. If I produce some data for us, maybe 10, 12, 13, 20, 21, 21, 23, 25, and 25. If I want to find my 5-number summary, we'll start with the minimum. The minimum number is 10. The maximum number is 25. But then finding the others is more difficult. Let's find the median. Cross them out to find the middle. There are 9 different numbers, so the middle should be the 5th data value, 21. And then I can find my lower quartile. That's going to be the 25th percent, or the middle of the lower half. So if I continue to cross them out, left and right, in between 12 and 13 is my lower quartile, or my first quartile at 12.5. And same for my upper quartile. Between 23 and 25 would be an upper quartile of 24. So my 5-number summary is 10, 12.5, 21, 24, and 25. Once you have a 5-number summary, it's really helpful to draw a box plot instead of a histogram. So a box plot is going to be a number line graph that's going to show you the minimum, the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the maximum. Remember, each one is 25%. So the first quarter, 25% of my data is below the first quartile. 25% of my data is above the third quartile. Even though the whisker looks longer, it still has the same amount of data, they're just further spread out on the number line. Each of these little parts is 25%, and the middle box here represents the interquartile range from Q3 down to Q1, and that is the middle 50% of my data. So let's make a box plot for the information we had above. I have to fit on a number line the data that we were representing. The minimum was down at 10. I had to get all the way up to 25. So maybe 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. Now I'm going to make marks from all my numbers. The minimum was 10. The first quartile was 12.5. The median was 21. The third quartile was 24, and the maximum was 25. Now I can draw my whiskers to connect and my box around the middle, first to third quartile. So I have my minimum, my first quartile, my median, my third quartile, and my maximum. Some things that this might tell me about my data is that 25% of the data is below this first quartile number, below 12.5. I also know that 75% of the data is below the third quartile mark, the third quarter, so at below 24, meaning that 25% of the data is above 24. That's some of the summary information I can get from a box plot. It's important to always include the number line with your box plots to keep everything evenly spaced out, to see that this middle interquartile range is very large. Also to see that the left whisker is longer, making my data skewed left a little bit. Hope you enjoyed box plots and 5-number summary.